G'day, Jeremy here from We Know Pets. Today I'm going to show you how to make a large container water garden. Water gardens don't need to be in large ponds, they can be in any container that holds water. I'm going to show you all the products you need to make it happen, and I'm going to take you through step by step. It's quick and it's easy and you'll get a great result. So let's start with the products first of all. Of course, you're going to need a container. I've chosen a large fiberglass planter. It would have been, of course, used for planting normal plants in, so you need to seal the bottom of the container up. So you need to get yourself some epoxy putty as well. That's going to seal the hole in the bottom of the container. It takes about 30 minutes to go off and it can be used underwater. You're also, of course, going to need a pump. Large container like this, we're going to incorporate a pump with a little spray head on it. It's going to give you that nice cooling sound of trickling water in summer, and it's going to help to aerate the water, keep the water nice and clear as well. You're going to need some plants. I've chosen just 2 varieties. I think water containers work best with just 2 varieties. You don't want 4 or 5, it could be a bit busy. So I've chosen plants that will tolerate different depths, because of course the pot's also got different depths in it as well. You're going to need to fertilise those plants as well to keep them thriving and looking great. So they're all the products you need. Let's get started and go through the steps. First of all, you need to position your pot properly. This pot's going to contain about 150 kilos once it's full of water, and you're not going to be able to move it once it's done. So make sure you get it in a position that you're happy with. Next up, we're going to position the pump. I've chosen a 240 volt pump here because we've got a power source close by, but you could also look at a solar option as well. So that involves using a panel such as this one here. If you're going solar, you want to put your panel in a north facing position. That's the best way to catch the sun rays and keep that pump running effectively. I've also put my pump just on a small brick paver in the bottom of the pond. That's going to keep it off. It's going to keep it off the bottom where sludge and rubbish can accrue and clog the pump up, which would increase your maintenance. So with my pump in place, I'm now going to put my plants in the pond. I've chosen Brahmi, which is a small plant that spreads out over the top of the pond, gets a nice white flower on it, and it'll tolerate a deeper part of my container, down to about 20 centimetres or so. There are other varieties as well. I'm just going to put those in place now. And look, the beauty part about container water gardening is no hole to dig, no soil to condition. You just pop the pond plants in straight in the pot as you go, nice and easy. Now I've also decided to use miniature umbrella grass as sort of my feature plant. It's going to grow taller, it's a dense bushy sort of plant, and I'm going to put those up a little bit higher on those brick pavers, because this one will only tolerate water to about 5 centimetres over the top of the pot. Of course, the plants that we sell at We Know Pets give you all those details on them so you can position them correctly. We'll just finish putting those in place now. Now look at that, in about a minute we've got that container looking great, ready to go. I'm just gonna fill it up now, and we'll come back and see how it looks. So that's the longest part of completing our container water garden done, filling it up. I'm now going to turn on the pump. Now you'll notice I've got a short fountain head on here. Fountain heads that are tall in windy areas like we've got our container water garden positioned here can lead to water being blown out of the pond and potentially the pump running dry. So just keep in mind the wind and the height of the riser on your water pump for where you've positioned your container water garden. I'm now going to run through a few maintenance tips with you to make sure your container water garden stays looking great year round. With your pump, it's important to run it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Very low wattage pumps, only 12 watts this pump draws, so it's not going to cost a lot on your power bill, and the motor will actually last longer running all the time. They're not really made for being stopped and started all the time. To keep your plants looking great, you need to fertilise them. Pond plants have got a very short growing season. It's between about September and April, so you're going to, depending on the climate, but as a rule, September to April is that period of time. So one of these fertiliser plants for every 12 centimetre pot like we put in once a month. These are proper aquatic fertilisers, and they're not going to contribute to algae growth inside your container water garden. From time to time, you'll need to top up your container. Because we don't have any fish in there, you could just use tap water. If you do have a few frogs around, it's important to add a little bit of water conditioner to remove the chlorine and chloramine, but tank water would be fine also. And while we're on frogs, these tall miniature umbrella grass are really going to encourage the frogs to come around to our container water garden. That's what they like, those tall reedy plants. And don't worry about the Brahmi being fully submersed in the water. Over the next 7 days or so, they're going to come up to the top and give us that beautiful mat of white flowers that we're looking for. You can buy all the products that we've talked about for our container water garden at weknowpets.com.au, or visit us at our store, Bowral Pets and Aquarium, 72 Station Street, Bowral in New South Wales, 02 4862 1175.